What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. They're about to start doing possibly what we have been saying the entire time, and just give us street level heroes. You could do from X-Men to Daredevil to Spider-Man, Punisher, all of them. We're all street level, smaller for the most part, fighting crime and stuff like that. You don't need big, bombastic, huge space events, multiverse events, even though apparently we're not getting rid of the multiverse. Let's see what they're saying here. So, according to a new rumor, Marvel Studios has decided to focus on street-level superhero TV shows moving forward. However, if you're not a fan of the multiverse, you may want to turn away now. Turn away from the site, but don't turn away from this video. Don't worry, we can make it together. Marvel Studios has gone back to the drawing board with the MCU after a surprise. It's not surprisingly after a hit or miss multiverse saga, explaining why we're getting only one movie and two live-action TV shows in 2024. One of those was Echo, which already came out. Most people forgot about and or didn't watch. And the other one is the Agatha. I forgot. It's on its like third name right now. But the Agatha series that is coming out. The Infinity Saga's conclusion coincided with the launch of Disney Plus, and Marvel Studios was tasked with developing an entire slate of projects to attract subscribers to the streaming platform. Kevin Feige was spread too thin, and the connectivity between movies and TV shows suffered as a result. Kevin could have been 100% involved with all of them, and they would have suffered because it was Kevin's choice. If you can't tell, I don't like Kevin Feige, just like I don't like Dave Filoni. These are two men who everyone thought were gods, but really they're mediocre. And when they're given full control, now you're seeing what they're actually capable of, and it's not great. It's not great. MCU is Kevin. Kevin Feige is the reason that every strong woman and every weak male exists. It was his decision, and he said it. And it's come to fruition now. So to think that Kevin Feige's lack of involvement, it's all him. It's all him. Everything at the end of Marvel says a Kevin Feige production. So ultimately, it was quantity over quality issue. No, it was quantity and quality. Moving forward, Daniel Reitman claims Marvel Studios will shift its small screen offerings to almost exclusively street level stories like Echo, because Echo did so well, and Daredevil Born Again. Jury's still out. There will be some exceptions, including the planned Wiccan and Vision Quest TV shows, which are already in development. Who's that? Oh, yeah. Well, that's Wiccan, at least, is one of their kids, Wanda and Vision's kids, who don't actually exist because they were figments in another multiverse. Remember, they said they're not getting rid of the multiverse. We're sure Marvel Studios is aware that Netflix TV MA offerings had a devoted audience, largely because they offered an alternate to the PG-13 MCU and all the stupid jokes. That was the other thing. The tone of the Netflix series was completely different than the mainstream MCU, for better, I would say. While they were far from perfect, using a similar template to Disney Plus by moving forward with more street-level shows would be no bad thing. In other news, the Scooper alleges that it is Scooper, but he's been right about everything for the last several months. So at this point, he's just a fucking news agency. In other news, the Scooper alleges that even when the multiverse saga concludes with Avengers Secret Wars, the Marvel multiverse will live on. Of course it will. Of course it will. The reset wasn't meaning that we're getting rid of the multiverse. It means that we're streamlining and making the main, not 616, because that's the comics, but the main MCU universe, streamlined. That was the one that was going to be reset, basically, with Iron Man being back, all the classic heroes and X-Men and Fantastic Four being in the main universe fully. Reitman didn't share too many additional details, but stated that Sony is the reason. Right, because they're never going to be able to get all those characters. So if they want to have any of those characters, they have to say multiverse and share. We'd guess this has something to do with the Spider-Verse, future crossovers with the live-action Spider-Man, and its own slate of movies. Yeah, and right now we're hearing there are huge dealings going on between who is the Spider-Man of the Sonyverse, because it's not Tom Holland. And we were hearing it was going to be Andrew Garfield, but it ain't Andrew Garfield either, which is why in Madam Web they just had no Spider-Man. They just had a baby named Peter, didn't even say Parker, and who knows who the actual Spider-Man, or if it's going to be Miles, because we're also hearing they can't wait to just make it Miles Morales so they don't have to pay off royalties for Peter. And of course, they get their virtue signal of Black Spider-Man. There have been some disappointment. They have a lot of cope right here, but just know that this is all way worse than they're about to say. There have been some disappointments. We would have liked some of our more recent releases to perform better. Disney CEO Bob Iger previously said, it's reflective, not as a problem from a personal perspective, but I think in our zeal to basically grow our content significantly to serve mostly our streaming offerings. We ended up taxing our people way beyond in terms of their time and their focus way beyond. Okay, it is a personal problem. It's a personal perspective problem, and it's a Bob Iger problem. He is the Kevin Feige of Disney. It's his fucking politics and decisions and ideological surrendering to these fucking demons that has led him to greenlight all the horrible decisions that we've seen. Then he left and watched all those horrible decisions play out while Bob Chapek got sold fucking out the river, down the river, whatever. And then Bob came back and blamed everything on Bob, the other Bob. But meanwhile, Bob Iger is the one that set all that shit to begin with in motion. And he's going to do it again. And of course, he'll blame other people. He'll say that the reason the Marvels was bad is because, not that they cast an inexperienced director, but because there wasn't enough Disney executives on set to watch their casted director, and so on and so forth, until we identify the problems. They're just going to keep going. I don't care what corporate speak and what disgusting euphemisms you use. None of this shit is going to work. Marvel's a great example of that. He added, oh, and it is that none of this shit is going to work. They had not been in the TV business at any significant level. Not only did they increase their... Oh, okay, and that's because he's just coping. Yeah, Marvel didn't know how to make fucking television. They were trying to shoot... This is the other big reason their movies fail, or their TV shows failed, rather. They were shooting their TV shows like movies. Oh, we'll just reshoot this. It wasn't tight honing. We'll work it out. Instead of, they'd have 3 episodes done, instead of having all of them mostly shot or shooting them as they go so they could course correct. Nope. They had a basic bitch plot. Most of the action things already done that would still end up getting reshot several times. And we saw the result. And again, I knew it was over. A lot of people said Infinity War's peak, and some people say Endgame because of time travel. I knew it was over at the end of WandaVision when the Sorcerer Supreme didn't show up, and Kevin Feige said as well, yeah, it might have made sense, but we didn't want just another white guy to show up and save the day. And that was that. And that's a good thing to end on. None of this will be fixed because you can't fix these things with the people that broke them. Till Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni are gone, Disney Star Wars is not saved. Till Bob Iger is gone, Disney is not saved. Until Kevin Feige and all the rot that he introduced is gone, Disney Marvel is not saved. How do we save our franchises? We fire and kick out all these fucking people. Until they're gone, don't count on anything. Don't count anything except for more euphemistic corpo speak. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, sub if you've done that. Thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. YouTube, stop channel suppression. It's horrible. And we'll see you on the next one.
Well, bye.